This is the last part for your Lorelai knit vest, and it's all about adding that little bit of garter stitch around our armhole edge, and it will just finish it off nicely. It's as easy as picking up and knitting stitches all the way around, and then we're going to continue to work in rows. We're not joining. You'll turn your work and you'll knit back, turn your work, knit back, turn your work, knit back, and so you're back on the right hand or the right side, and you will bind off your stitches. Then you will seam together the little bit of the edge that you have there, and it's done. So let me get you started with this, and then you are going to go and finish both of your armholes. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so here is my sweater as it stands, right? I have my neck done. Let's start with this armhole. Why not? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to start by picking up and knitting stitches right down here at my side seam. And then I will work across all of these up and around and come back down here. My interval is going to be the same that I did at my neckline. So for every 2 rows, or for every 3 rows, I'll pick up 2 stitches. And then for every stitch that I have here, I pick up a stitch for a stitch. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's grab some yarn. You want to make sure you have a nice big ball of yarn. Grab your needles. And like I said, we are not working in the round. So we're going to start right here. And pick a spot wherever you want to get started with this. So it has the garter. I think I'm going to go right above that. So I'm going to go right there. Yarn over my needle and pick up a stitch. Maybe. Let's do that again. Yarn over and pick up. Okay. All right. So let's do that again. I'm going to go 1 for 1. So I jump over 1 stitch. Make sure you're not using your tail. Yarn over and pick up a stitch. I mean, you just did this very thing on the back of the neck. So this is nothing you haven't done. All right. Again, we're just trying to make things nice and neat. You don't want to have too many. You don't want to have too few. And you'll be able to tell if it doesn't look good. You'll be able to tell quickly. And just rip it out and start again. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose here. Making sure I go into these stitches, 1 stitch for 1 stitch. It looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. And I will just keep going here. So I'm just gradually going up my stair steps, right? So I pick up my 4 and then I go to the next stair step and I see the 4th stitch there and I pick it up, right? Or the 4th stitch with the start of my next 4 stitches and I go in and pick up. All right, just like I did before. And you're getting these stitches on your needles. Remember, as you're going in, stitch for a stitch, you'll pick up 2 stitches for every 3 rows. You can also change that up if you find that it works better for you to have 3 stitches every 4 rows. You could do that as well. Totally up to you. Just do whatever makes it look as consistent as possible for you. All right, so this is where I'm starting to go up my shaping here, right? So I have 1 more stitch right here. And so this is where I will pick up 2 stitches for every 3 rows. So there's 2, skip a row, 1, 2, skip a row, 1, and 2, skip a row, and then come up. Okay, you see that? And then I'll just keep doing this all the way up, okay? So skip a row, 1 and 2, skip a row, 1 and 2, skip a row, 1 and 2, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at what we have here. So if you're looking at it flat, you can see it's just a nice clean pickup. all the way along here. And I will continue doing that all the way around. When I get back to this spot, I will turn my work, and then I will work 3 rows of garter stitch. So turn my work and just work 1, turn my work 2, turn my work 3, and then I bind off. It's really that easy. So what I want you to do now is go ahead, continue picking up all these stitches, and then work your 3 rows of garter stitch. Then we're going to bind off those stitches and seam up that little join there at the seam where we are not working in the round, and your sweater is going to be complete. So let's pick up those stitches and work 3 rows of garter stitch, and then we're going to bind off. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I just finished my 3 rows here and I'm ready to bind off. So I want to do that together with you. So let's take a peek. First off, did you notice that gives us these 2 garter stitches that look very much like these garter stitch bands that we have all around? I thought that was really cool. So we are just going to bind off, and I don't want to do a loose bind off, but I also don't want it to be like incredibly tight. So when we're binding off, as we've done before, we just want to make sure that our bind off is the same size as our needle. So you'll notice here as I'm knitting and getting 2 stitches on my right hand needle, the back jumps the front, and I maintain the size of those stitches as they relate to the size of my needle. That's the whole reason you have different size needles, is so that way the stitches can be the same size as your needle. So I'm making sure that my stitches are the same size as my needle. I'm not giving them an extra pull. I'm not doing anything extra. I'm just going to bind all of these off. And when I get to the other side, I will fasten off and then use my tail to just, seam together the edge right here, right? This little edge right here that we have, that one and this one. I'll just seam those together just really quickly. And we're going to have a nice finished piece here. Okay. So what I want you to do now is go ahead and bind off your armhole and then do the second armhole. Join me back here and we will wrap this thing up. Okay. It is 2:30 in the morning here and I just finished my second sleeve. I ran out of yarn as I was knitting, so I had to rejoin yarn. Let's take a look. Oh, it feels so good to have this done. Okay, so you can see I have my nice trim here. I have my final ends that I need to weave in. So I ran out of yarn, so I had to do that. And then I have these bits down here. Now, this is my underarm. I'm not super concerned about those. I'm just going to just put them together. So I'm threading my tail onto here. Get it all connected. Okay. And then I'm going to pop back up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down. That's a frown. Then smiley face. Where's the smiley face? There's a smiley face. If I can get it. And then frown. And then smiley face. Right here on the edge. And just like that, I have the 2 bits put together. Okay, everything is good there. Everything look good? I think it looks good. Let's make sure that's all snug as a bug in a rug. I think I'm going to just come up here and do a little duplicate stitch up here. I like to do duplicate stitch whenever I see that there are stitches that are a little bit like wonky. and then it just cleans them up. Yeah. I'll pop that to the inside. And just like before, I have this nice big seam here. So let's just use the seam to our advantage, right? Just pop it down some. Hey, I know I could edit all this out, but I figure we've come together this far. Let's finish it up together at the same time. So hope you'll stick with me as I seam all this up. Get rid of that one. I have all these little bits of yarn all over the place. It's crazy. Okay, so I have a couple more here. This is the last bit of my vest. So I figure you have gone through this whole journey with me thus far. So stick with me as I finish this last bit, okay? I'm almost done. Just weaving this one in, going along the little bit of the armhole here. Just getting all that put in there so that it's woven in. I would say that is good. All right. What do I have left here? So a couple more. I ran out of yarn twice. I ran out of yarn there. I ran out of yarn there. It was all in an effort to try and keep the same color as the other side. See, I tried to keep them the same. See that? It's not necessary. I just thought it would be good. Now, this one, I wove it in as I went. I did sort of like a weave-in Steven. So I am just going to tuck these in because I already have it woven, which is great. If you guys can see this. Hopefully you can. I know this is boring. Maybe I'll just delete this out. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna snip those. One more, you guys. One more. This is the last one. This is the last end to weave in on my entire vest. I think I have them all woven in. So I had to join this at the bind off. So I want to make sure that I absolutely get this in here. So I will do a little duplicate stitch here to make sure that this is exactly what we want. Goes over there. There we go. I think we're good. Pull this down. Okay. That one is pretty good. One more. Last one. Last one. This feels great. Feels so good. And then all I've got to do after this is edit this video, edit all this video for all of you who have been patiently waiting for lesson 6. It's crazy with me knitting this larger size. It took me way more time than I expected. But I got it done. I knit both of the sample sweaters here. I knit the purple one and this one. And voila, you guys. See, those are the last bits of my ends there. Toss those. My needles are done. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so I'll put it down. Here's my neckline. My sleeves. Oh, they look, or not sleeves, but my arms. They look really good. Oh, I did a match. I matched them up pretty great. Look at that. Everything looks great. Oh, let's take a look at it up here. Okay, what do you think? Okay. I'm gonna have to try it on and show you guys a picture. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to have it done. It feels so good to have this done. Oh my goodness. I'm very, very excited. Very, very, very excited. 2:41 in the morning, and I have completed the Lorelai knit vest. I hope you guys have enjoyed this process as much as I have. I have had such a good time teaching you some fun techniques like the pocket, showing you how you can keep track of that stitch pattern using that fun technique of picking up stitches behind that garter stitch for the neckline so that we could have our front neckline already complete, and then doing the garter stitch bind off and the garter stitch grafting. It's just been a lot of fun. Okay, so if you will do me a favor and take a picture of yourself wearing your own Lorelai knit vest and share it with me on social media, I would just be so tickled. If you use hashtag MMMDI, which stands for Marley Made Me Do It, or you can always tag me at the Marley Bird over on Instagram. Don't forget, we also have the Facebook group that you can be a part of and share pictures of your finished projects there as well. It has been a delight teaching you how to make the Lorelai knit vest, and I hope you will join me here again as we venture on making other wonderful knit and crochet items. I'm Marley Bird, you are my crafty bestie. I'll see you again soon. Bye.